Hi, I'm Gayla. After 20 years of climbing the corporate ladder, I took the leap and started my own business to pursue my dream of creating a work-from-anywhere lifestyle. Having the freedom to work from practically anywhere is such a cool feeling. You're in the right place if you're looking for ideas and inspiration to start and grow your own online business. Every week in this podcast, you'll receive practical ideas, hints, tips, and tricks to help you grow your online business where you can leverage your time and you can accomplish more. You too can experience wonderful adventure and freedom as you live life on your own terms. Hello, and welcome to the very, very first show of 2020. Can you believe it? It's a brand new year, a brand new decade. Now, I'm excited, but honestly a bit nervous about the coming year. I have some pretty big goals that I've already set into motion. How about you? If you're anything like me, goal setting brings about some mixed feelings. There are a lot of good goal setting frameworks out there, but they're also easy to get tired of. One of the things that I've done in recent years is to set better goals, is to write down all of my goals, and then I rank them to the top 3. I made the mistake in the past in trying to set way too many goals and make so many unreasonable timeframes to achieve those goals. Now, I heard Rachel Hollis say once something to the effect that if she were to give up on her goals because she didn't hit the target on that specific date that she had set for herself, then she would have never ever achieved what she's achieved so far. I believe that we should put some time parameters to help us get to the target. But we shouldn't beat ourselves up if the goal isn't achieved in that exact time frame. That's more of an analysis time frame and maybe reevaluating if we don't hit our target. Those deadlines put a little fuel in the fire. Goals without a timeline are simply dreams. When you work toward that dream that you have by placing a bit of fuel onto the flame with a deadline, then even if you miss that time frame, you've grown and achieved more than what you would have without that fuel, that deadline. So I started listing out my goals, and then I ranked them to the top 3 that are the 3 that I am going to devote my focus and my energy to this year. And then another tactic that I started doing was I started to ask myself 4 follow-up questions for each goal. I write this down in a journal and on my computer for easy reference too, so I can access it, real quickly. Now, although I use Google Calendar for most of my appointments and to track my time blocking, I also use and carry around a paper calendar for like a high-level bird's eye view of my plans. It's like a picture for me. It's a nice image for me. I like to keep my goals written in that paper calendar because usually I have it with me and I can reference it often. I also, last year sometime, I purchased a journal app called Penzu. That's Penzu, and I enjoy using it a lot. I have a little place in one of my online journals through Penzu that I like to keep my goals because that's easy reference too on my tablet, on my phone, or on my computer. So today, to kick off the brand new year, I thought I'd share the 4 questions I ask myself about each of my goals to keep me motivated and to keep me going. I'm also going to share my own personal goals for the coming year. So here we go. Here are the 4 follow-up questions that I ask myself. Number 1, why do you want to accomplish this goal? Number 2, what is the pain you will feel if you don't accomplish this goal? Number 3, what is the pleasure you'll get from accomplishing this goal? And number 4, how will accomplishing this goal contribute to others? So that's what I ask myself when I am refreshing and looking at my goals, because at the very beginning of the year, everything's so fresh and new and we're quite motivated. But a few weeks in, well, things kind of peter out a little bit. So I like to go back to these 4 follow-up questions to keep me motivated and to make sure that I get back into focus. Now, without any further ado, here are my top 3 goals for this coming year. Number 1, make healthy eating a part of my lifestyle. Okay, that's probably a lot of people's goals, and that's a broad thing, but here's why. Business is very, very demanding on every front. It's spiritually, emotionally, intelligently, and physically. I'm more than my business. I have a lot of things that I want to do, and I want to feel good doing them. And this is actually a continuation from last year's personal goal for a healthy lifestyle. You see, mid-2018, Robert and I had made changes in our diet and leaned toward the ketogenic diet. Just a few simple adjustments in our eating habits made such a huge difference, not only in our waistline, but more importantly, how we felt. My mind was much more clear, and I didn't feel nearly as exhausted at the end of the day. That is most of the time, depending on what I was doing. To be completely honest, about the last 6 months or so, we fell back into overdoing it with carbs. Mainly sugars, not so much of the breads, but mainly sugars. Those sweets. Oh boy, we became overindulgent. What happened is that we began to feel terrible. We were sluggish. We had many more headaches than we used to. And we already had the taste of how good it feels to cut those carbs and concentrate on proteins and fat in our diet. We were missing that. So, renewing my commitment to healthy eating had already started a few weeks ago, even before Christmas. And after a few days of my body becoming adjusted, oh boy, I felt great. I am more mindful of what I eat and the portion sizes. What happened is that I used to really be diligent in logging my foods into FitnessPal, and then I stopped doing that. And that's when things kind of went awry for me. Now I'm more mindful of what I'm eating because I'm logging it into FitnessPal, and I'm getting back into the habit of whipping out my phone, logging those foods, and I'm not super strict or hard on myself on what I eat. The logging just helps me be more mindful, and I absolutely don't feel deprived. I don't find myself eating when I'm bored either. I'm not bored often, but I also found that when I'm under stress or when I'm doing a lot of work, it's just easy for me. Let's snack and work at the computer at the same time. Not such a good idea if I have huge stints of work sitting down in front of a computer screen and not much exercise. So being mindful on what I eat and the timing and making sure that I feel full instead of deprived. Now, doing this is not just for me, but those around me. I am much more focused for my clients and their work. I have much more stamina to help my family when they need me, and more want to, so to speak, for the things that I really enjoy doing. I love the fact that I don't huff and puff as much when I go on a simple hike. That was starting to scare me because I do not want to just feel like I'm out of breath to go across the room. I have other family members that struggle with that, and I don't want to be that. And it's all because of some simple adjustments in cutting out bread and sugars, carbs in general, or reducing them at such a substantial rate. I feel great. That is my number one goal. I've done it in the past. I'm not concentrating on what weight I want to be. It's more of logging those foods and being more mindful of healthy eating. And that just has a lot of trickle-down effect. So my number two personal goal this year, it's a biggie. And actually, we've been talking about this. Robert and I have been talking about this for, I want to say 2, maybe even 3 years now. But I just wasn't ready. My mindset was not ready. But now it is. It really is. It is time to sell the RV. What? What about this work from anywhere lifestyle? Why on earth would I want to sell the RV since it's the place where we live full time? Well, it's time to sell. My working from anywhere lifestyle and philosophy still applies. I'm ready to transition from our 38-foot RV diesel pusher into a little cabin in the woods. That's been my dream for a while, but there's been no deadline. How that will pan out, though, I'm not completely sure, but the very, very, very first step is to sell the RV. That is the first step in our grand plan for our next big overlanding trips. Now, we moved into our RV full-time in 2011. At first, we drove it all around and parked it in different RV parks and pulling our Jeep behind it. But a few years ago, we parked it and we've been living in it in one place. And we have downsized even further in our travel. We travel in our 98 Jeep Wrangler with a rooftop tent, and we enjoy that type of travel so much more than driving around what I have started calling the big beast. It is such a big vehicle, and we love to go onto roads that the RV can't even imagine going on. I mean, our last trip in 2019, we were on dirt roads for 50, 60 miles from point A to point B. That was our goal, was to not get on pavement. Well, you can't do that in an RV. And we went to some pretty precarious camping spots. And we just don't want to have a big RV. We do have a different overlanding vehicle in mind for the future, because we have longer term goals of going overlanding in a vehicle much smaller than an RV, but bigger than the Jeep. We would be gone for 6, 8 months, maybe even a year. But first, we're selling the RV. And in this process, and it took me a while to get to this mindset, I feel like I have to have a home base. I just need a home base. What draws me is the woods and a cabin. So instead of living in an RV, we're going to have a little cabin in the woods. And like I said, don't know how that piece of the goal will turn out, but that's going to be one of next year's main focus. But until then, we're selling the RV. So number 3 in my personal goals is to officially open my online community. Now, over the past few years, I've been wanting and actually alluding to offering courses and an online community. And I've had some false starts with that, quite frankly. And I've wavered because mainly I think it's just honestly confidence level. And I shifted because of this confidence level. I devoted my time to running Scrivener Solutions, which is an important thing. That's a revenue stream. That's exactly where the majority of my income comes from. But running and working in Scrivener Solutions is a full-time job. And creating courses and starting an online community is a full-time job. So something has to give. And my business model is changing a bit for Scrivener Solutions. Any new virtual assistant clients, any clients that need virtual assistant help will be handled by one of my Scrivener Solutions team members. I won't be their virtual assistant. My team will have more responsibility within the company, and once they are at capacity, we will add more team members. I will take on no more than 2 clients this year for personal coaching, because personal coaching, one-on-one coaching, does take time. Whoever I have for the coaching client, I'll help them strategize what they need so that they can grow their business. But my focus beyond those things will be to officially open the online community. And why? Well, one thing that really saddens my heart is to hear that folks feel like they are stuck in working somewhere or in something that they don't like. They want to get out of their day job and have the freedom to work from anywhere like I do, but they're stuck because they don't know what to do, or they feel like they are held back because they don't have the technical skills. They don't know the software, or they don't know where to start, or how the systems work, or how they can intermingle. And it just saddens me because I think we can all do this. I think we can all have the freedom, and it's not without work, but we can achieve a lifestyle that we want to. We can create a work atmosphere that fits in very nicely to the lifestyle that we want to have. With that, I totally understand that you got a full-time job, but you want to start something on the side, but that's a full-time job too. Having total understanding of, first of all, how scary it is to leave a job that you get paid every 2 weeks. I did that, and I've had bumps on the way, and I'd love to share my experience with that. But then already having a successful business, but want to start something new, it's like 2 full-time jobs. So I understand the transition, and I just want to help you through it. I would love to use my experience and my knack for connecting the dots of processes to help others start and grow their online businesses. I've been doing that, working behind the scenes as a virtual assistant from the very beginning. And then I moved in to become a strategist and consultant in my role. And so there's only so many people I can help one-on-one. I have to turn folks away, and I hate that. Besides, many of my one-on-one conversations that I have are great to share with a group, to spark confidence and ideas for both personal and professional growth. So by offering an online community, this is a natural next step for trading time for hours and truly scaling our business. And Robert and I are very excited about it, but we know that there is a lot of work, and buckle down, because we're in our habits that we've done for so many years. Now we're developing new habits and developing a new business, a new line of business. Now, I hope the 4 questions I shared earlier add value to your goal-setting process. On that note, I would love to hear some of your goals for this year. Do you have any goals for this year or a particular method of goal setting? I would love for you to share. Drop me an email at podcast@gaylascrivener.com. That's podcast at GAYLASCRIVENER.com. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for being here today. Happy New Year, a new year, and a fresh decade. Until next time, have a fantastic week.